Whenever you're ready, bucko boy.
All right. You're introducing, right? It's your episode.
Nope, I introduced it last time during your episode.
No, you didn't.
Let's
you
make a bet.
said
Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet.
you said it's your episode. You do it.
I did it though.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
You're only.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me make sure though that you're right before I cower to you like a coward.
Don't do that, dude.
Why would I do that?
Super marginalized.
Oh,
This kind of looks like my brother. It looks like my.
Kevin has the QnA actually discouraged podcast. It was me, you dumb idiot, dumb stupid ass.
I'm sorry. Let me cower.
Freaking idiot. See, I'm so glad
3, 2,
I
1.
didn't
Ready?
S your D. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Bink. All right.
Ready? You went. All right. Welcome to the Be Discouraged podcast. This is episode 30. 30, I think. Right? That's pretty cool. It has to be 30.
What the fuck? It's number.
You're muted. I didn't hear you.
It's number 11.
No, it'd be 20. No, 30 or so 31. So in my head, because I'm counting the old ones, dude. You're not counting the old ones. Some people are counting the old ones.
Yeah. But still, you were wrong.
31. 31. That's amazing.
Still wrong. Yeah.
Okay, well, your turn.
All right, go ahead. Spit it out. All right, so episode.
I did it.
All right. What is it about? What is this? What is today?
Oh, this is a Q&A for me. So he's got questions.
All right, so you guys are about to see what an actual Q&A looks like, and not some fucking plain bingo drawing numbers out of my head and talking about myself. I said
bingo numbers out of my head. What does that mean?
So there's like numbers, and it's like 36, and then it's just a question.
No, I know.
A superficial and lame. Fucking idiot.
It was all superficial. Get out of here.
Wait,
Go
before
ahead.
we start,
Hit me with the deep ones.
let me see that. Let me see that shirt. What is that
it's
icon?
a bullet, I think. It's or pigeon. It's from the FFA thing I went on. I think we were friends back then.
What's
it was back when
FFA?
I worked at that
Free for all.
but farmers something Future Farmers Association. So I was working at that school out in that.
All right, let's go
town.
Q&A. All right.
Yeah, but they were shooting guns, dude, and it was really cool because I was such an odd man out. I was like a city boy, and like these guys are just like talking about literally girls, trucks, and guns, and I'm like,
you were a city
cool,
slicker.
Dude. Yeah, but I did okay. It was cool. It was a unique experience. Good.
They were looking.
Q&A.
Yeah.
You have
All
questions?
Right. Of course I do. What do you mean? Do I have questions?
Do you have them written down or typed?
Don't worry about that, dude. That's a dumb question to ask me.
That's not a dumb question.
All right. So first of all, what is that?
Legal now, dude. It's weed.
Oh my god! No wonder why you're so boring to talk to. All right, how old are you?
How old am I? 32.
32.
Yeah.
What astrology sign do you represent?
First off, dumbass question. Worst question.
No, it's not dumb.
Yeah. Go ahead. What is your last
astrology?
question? Sorry,
what is your
I'm
symbol?
baffled.
What is your astrology symbol?
Gemini.
That makes sense. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to that. All right. So does Kevin have any siblings?
I have one and a half sister that I haven't met in person, and a stepsister that I semi grew up with.
See, I didn't know that. What the hell? You have
later,
a brother,
like later in life,
a half sister, and a stepsister.
Stepsister, yeah. And stepsister is the one that was like around early and then around late in my childhood.
How old is everybody? Do you know? Or like a
They're
general?
both about 15 years older, maybe about 15 years older than me. Yeah.
Dang. So none of them. They're too old for me. That's gross, dude. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're really old, dude. I mean, they gotta be approaching 50. Both of them 45.
Are they full of drugs?
No, I don't think. I think one is maybe an alcoholic for sure. But that runs in my family, dude. My dad was an alcoholic. My grandpa.
Yeah, my aunt died. She was an alcoholic. I remember we'd go visit them, and we'd like park across the street from their house, and I like when she come out of the door, I could smell the alcohol. It was bad. Dude. It was really bad.
One of my earliest memories is my grandpa being too drunk in my front yard. and just like lighting a matchbook on fire and just being like, and me just thinking it was so cool.
It is cool, dude.
Like I'm drinking a giant Budweiser, you know, like a 40 ounce Budweiser. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. How old is your brother?
11 months younger than me. So yeah, 30. He's 31 right now.
Okay, so can you tell brief, okay? Very brief. Wipe that dumb face off of your face.
No, dude, it's my turn for a dumb face.
That's true. That's true. So you don't have a good relationship with the stepsister?
No, stepsister, we're cool. No, the half sister, I don't like. We're both of those are cool. They just live far away. They live on the other side.
When did you last speak with them? Let's hear what cool is.
Like message, or like
whatever.
Message. Like sometime last year, probably, or maybe the year before that. So I mean, like it's like not. I'm not saying we're tight, but I'm saying like there's no hard feelings, and everyone like yeah. They live in the East Coast though, like literally Florida, and I think like Vermont or something.
Yeah. Okay. And your brother?
My brother probably lives down the street, dude.
Probably, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where he lives. He might be in town in Wawa. I don't know.
All right. So how would you describe your relationship? Brief.
Good.
Your relationship with your brother is good.
I'm just kidding. It's not good. Not good.
Not good.
That's brief, right?
Yeah, that's good enough. That's
Bad.
good enough.
Bad. There you
Bad.
go.
Okay. Do you have any specific memories with the sisters? Because I've never heard you talk about your sisters at all.
Half sister again, never met. Stepsister, yeah, actually, I remember she was dating. She lived at my house when her early 20s, and then she was dating this guy who ended up not being such a good guy. And I don't know if he was like that
Those guys,
when I was younger too. I don't know if he was like that when I was younger or just got older and fell into that. Even in my head, I can't see him being an alcoholic. He didn't seem drunk when I saw him. But he was a skateboarder guy. And like he was just really fucking. Yeah, he's just fucking cool, dude. Back then, I just thought he. Well, I was little, dude.
Yeah.
I was little. You know what I mean? And like they came back from the East Coast and started living with us for a little bit. And I just remember them thinking that they were so fucking cool. I was like 7, you know what I mean? And they were shredding on a skateboard, and I was like,
your eyes are dilating. Whoa.
Yeah, like, these guys are cool. Yeah, so I play video games with them sometimes, and yeah. So there's memories.
So that's like the memory that stands out is due to the boyfriend, like the badass boyfriend.
No, just both of them living there. She'd play too.
Okay.
So yeah. But that definitely was like a big part of it too. Like I wanted to be affiliated.
What
with
about the half sister? Nothing. No memories. So
I mean,
a half sister is like biological mom but different dad, right? Or vice versa. Or vice versa. Okay.
In this case, dad's side. Yep.
Okay. See, I have what would be defined as half sisters, but I never considered them as half sisters. Like one, two. Yeah, I have 2 half sisters, but I've never really seen them as
I think it also depends on how you grew up. Like I've never met her.
Yeah, I grew up with them, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're in your household. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
All right, do you have any specific memories about your brother?
So many.
Oh, dude, that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart bad. So many
bad ones, good ones. Yeah.
Can you give me one good one? Just any of them. It doesn't have to be like number 1 good one. Doesn't have to be number 1 bad one.
Playing lots of. There's this game called War Rock. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Can we Google it real quick?
I've heard of Turok.
Right? No,
dinosaurs.
I think it's 2 R's. War Rock. I'm typing with one hand. Sorry. Yeah, look at Warrock sometime. It's this old, like, kind of like CSGO style looking game. It was on PC, and him and I used to get really into it, and we love sniping, and we just play all the time, dude. Our parents had to set timers on our PCs.
Why? They never took care of y'all anyways.
Yeah, but they still monitor. They shut it down. We figured out how to get around it. You know what I mean?
Fucking like, losers.
Yeah.
Not you, but your parents. Your parents.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But yeah, that's good memory.
Why do you think that one stands out more than all of them? Just because you're a gamer still?
No, I think we spent a lot of time together gaming. Like that's how we spent our time because we had to fill it.
Yeah.
And
then, what about one of the worst memories?
I remember slapping.
I was gonna say, hold on. If you didn't say that one, I was gonna say, can you tell us the slap story?
I think about it all the time. I think about it probably once a week. Slapping the nightmare out of him, dude. Like literally, concussed him. I know I did.
I mean,
we
lead
were
up to it. Like,
13.
what happened? Like,
13. He was eating this ice cream. Mom told him not to have this ice cream. I like the ice cream. He was eating way too many of them. I asked him not to eat it. Or I told him properly. I told him not to eat it. And then he like pulled it out and like leaned forward. And I have raging bipolar disorder. I'm not medicated at this point. I'm not on the right medication.
He's like
you
taunting you.
Actually.
Yeah,
taunting me. And I'm on the wrong medications at the time. And again, you could argue that's worse than not being on any medications at all, because
100%.
I'm misdiagnosed and like I'm on depression meds, which are fucking with me, like Zoloft and Paxil and shit. You know, I'm 12 or whatever, and I slapped him so hard, dude, that it like changed our whole life. Changed our whole life. Like, actually, I was thinking about this part you don't know. His room led into my room, so I had to walk through it, and they set up a whole wooden wall, like constructed wall between, so that he had like a walkway, and it was
some privacy too.
Yeah, but it was to be safe. It was to be safe for me. That moment was definitely impactful, and that's probably the moments he talked about when he was like, "You ruined my life."
Yeah, whenever you were like, "Yeah, okay, bitch, I don't give a shit."
That's not what I said, but I did say I was sorry for it. Did not.
Yeah,
I did say
you kind of apologized to him, but you were like, but.
I said, I'm sorry for the things that I did as a kid. I was like, I was not medicated, and I was like, and I didn't do that shit once I got right. I did say when he mentioned that, because we were talking about my mom.
Yeah, wait, we're getting into a different thing.
Yeah, different ballpark.
So one of your worst memories is slapping the shit out of him.
Yep.
You sure that's not a good memory?
No.
Also, what kind of ice cream was it? Do you remember?
Orange creamsicle.
Dang, dude, that's probably like your sacred totem that you just don't know.
Cosmic brownies are my sacred totem.
Okay, all right. Why is the cosmic brownie your sacred totem?
They were just always in the drawer, and
Hey, did your cosmic brownie have a slit in the middle of it, like so you could, there's no more slits?
That's weird.
It's very weird.
It's not really a point. I wouldn't split it. Bite into it.
I'm just saying, it's weird, right?
That is weird. That's weird.
All right. Well, that was cool. Poor brother, dude. You're awful.
Yeah, I got a lot better to him. I feel like our relationship was actually, after that moment, and once I got diagnosed, my whole life, I mean, everything changed. I stopped getting in trouble at school.
Yeah.
Like, I really never got Good.
Okay. One more thing about this popsicle thing. Did you slap him because you wanted to eat them and you weren't allowed to, or what was the motivation behind?
I honestly, I think I was so young, and then also so mentally ill. I don't think I know. I think I didn't want him to eat it because he wasn't supposed to. I think he was eating too many of them. I think you could justify it, but the reaction was 10 out of 10. Like, I swung for the fences, dude, with my slap.
And you were 13?
It was like power slap, the power. Yeah. Like it was like one of those slaps, dude.
Yeah. How old were you when that happened?
13, probably. I 13. Think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And I'm almost certain I never ever once I got after that moment specifically. I don't think him and I ever got in a physical conflict again.
Yeah.
I think that was I can't remember one at least.
But it's also. We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
You mentioned bipolar. What are your current symptoms? What are they, and if you can briefly summarize?
The second, or just like what I lived through?
Wait, what did I ask you? What are your symptoms? Diagnosis. Sorry, your diagnosis.
Yeah. So I have bipolar disorder. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
And I do think I have autism. You can discredit it, but I give
100%
it hours,
discredited.
probably hundreds of hours of thought.
Okay, for those people who don't know what bipolar is, can you tell them? Because a lot of people think it's, I'm mad. I'm not mad. That's the general stigma between bipolar. Yeah. Like every day, and then I'm okay.
And people can correct me if I'm wrong. I have this down, but it switched, and so I don't have it as down. But I'm pretty sure I'm diagnosed with bipolar 2, which involves depression and involves mania. But I don't believe that that's what I experience anymore. And I bet you if I got re-diagnosed, I'd be bipolar 1, which is just up.
So yeah, it's a pattern of depressive and hypnomanic episodes. Hypomanic episodes.
And that would be very often what I would experience for my upbringing, where it would just be like not quite manic, so I wouldn't act like Kanye West or some like
someone
Kanye
cool.
West's a perfect example. Like, he has mania, dude. Like, whether people think he's crazy or not, like that, like a lot of that stuff in the summertime is mania. But and then I've had big depressive moments. I used to be so sad and miserable all the time.
Yeah.
But now I would consider myself one. So can you tell me what one is again?
Yeah.
I think one is where it's just up, and then
one is
hypomania.
A type of bipolar disorder that involves manic episodes that last a week or so, severe that is hospitalized, that you can be hospitalized. People with bipolar also experience depressive episodes, which usually last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I think I honestly, maybe it's just because coping skills, but I've really tailored the depression.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get sad very often. If I take my medicine, what ends up happening, symptoms I live, is that I will get manic from something. Some kind of stimuli will get me excited, and then that will feed off of it. Sometimes that is anger. I told my girlfriend the other day that anger and mania are synonymous, but if I get angry enough, it will make me manic.
Yeah.
And if I get manic enough, I will get angry.
Yeah. Like they're just coexisting within each other, and that's part, like you said, it's probably part of your coping. It's like a foundation that they both share.
Yeah, dude, and like I can experience frustration, but like pure like actual anger. Like the other day, it happened where I had to like when you texted me what I was doing, I was sitting on my car waiting for my meds to kick in because my cat right now. Yes, dude, she won't stop, dude. And like it's gotten to the point where she'll like listen most of the time and I can like check her on it.
Yeah.
But that day she like ruined a whole comp game, knocked my mouse out of my hand basically. I couldn't pick her. She's fat as fuck too, dude.
Yeah.
She's probably 25 pounds.
Like a little tank,
Yeah, she's huge. And so I have to like, and she's old, so I have to like carefully pick her up. And I got so mad at her when she knocked my mouse out. And I started talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, already
you were like redirecting that anger towards,
And it was the energy. It wasn't even like I was mad at her.
Yeah.
But like I was escalated, and I stood up, and yeah, dude, I was yeah. But they're synonymous. They're synonymous. And lack of sleep comes with that.
Yeah.
Like big time lack of sleep.
Here's some characteristics, and like which ones, because mania, a lot of people haven't experienced mania. It's a very
cool. It's fun.
It's very freeing. It can be, at least, but it's also very destructive. It can be very destructive.
The most destructive. Yeah.
Well, no, sometimes it's like you need to reach a certain point of the mania to do what you need to do, and that's
the difference between hypomania and mania.
Gotcha.
Like, and that's a big difference. Is mania, hypomania is all the good things without the it ruining your life.
Yeah. Okay.
And it can be bad, but like most of the time it's euphoria. It feels good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here are some characteristics, and like which ones like are your main ones.
Go ahead. Because I'll just say yes or no.
All right. Extreme mood changes such as feeling extremely happy or irritable. Increased energy.
Yep.
Hyperactivity.
Yep. Decreased
need for sleep.
Yep.
Inflated self-image.
Yep.
Whoa, that one's
big
cool.
Time, dude. Yeah, big time.
Excessive.
And I think I have. Go ahead.
Excessive spending.
Yeah.
Hypersexuality.
Yep.
Really? I thought that one would be negative sexuality.
My ADHD meds affect that a lot. So like,
it's suppressant, right? Like it suppresses it.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and almost like a witching hour. Like if it hits 10 o'clock, then I'll start feeling a lot of those feelings. And I'm not hypersexual all the time, but like, but it does, like that being manic does affect that, but it won't affect that until my ADHD meds.
And substance abuse.
Yes. Lots of that.
Well, let's compare them to, because you checked all of the ones. Here's the one for bipolar 2. Fatigue.
You know what's funny?
What's up?
You know what's funny is that one of the symptoms that they should list on there that's definitely a symptom is not thinking you have bipolar disorder, which is a big character, or not thinking you need medicine, or not thinking everyone around you is wrong about your mental illness.
I think
that's such a common.
I think that's inflated self-image.
But it's different than that too, because when you're manic, you believe that I can do anything, dude. I could do anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could go apply for any job, and I could probably get that job with the confidence that I'm wearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's also this idea that like you're the only, like everyone else is wrong and that you don't have a problem, which I don't think has anything to.
I've seen you have that many times. in our relationship. I've seen that a lot, but I've also seen the contrast of your awareness, right? Like having the awareness has mitigated a lot of that, over flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
But
But it's impossible for me to see, and like
Yeah.
if I'm feeling those symptoms enough, it is impossible
Yeah.
for me to have the until I come back, and then I can
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true.
Well, for bipolar type 2, it's fatigue or loss of energy, feelings of worthlessness or guilt.
Yep. None of these I experience now. All of these I experience.
Well, I'm talking about now.
No, you can check. You can say no to all these then.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
experience depression. I don't experience
Gotcha.
depression like I used to. Like,
Okay.
up until 25, I was just morbidly depressed.
Yeah.
And then I don't experience those. And I got re-diagnosed again when I was 22.
Okay.
And so it was right in the midst of that.
Yeah. Well, since we're
so
there,
I think I would be good.
How old were you when you were diagnosed with ADHD?
Young.
Oh,
maybe, I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. They usually catch
really young.
I think in women they catch that way later, but
I was ruining everyone's life, dude.
Yeah.
I was ruining everyone's life around me. Like, I was just tearing everything apart.
And when were you diagnosed with bipolar?
13 going into 14.
What? Oh, so it was pretty young still. Okay.
It's so young. That's why I got re-diagnosed when I was 22.
Oh my God, dude. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 28.
Yeah, and it's very, very, very rare, even now, for kids to get diagnosed with a bipolar so young. But dude, the second I got on the medication, my whole life changed.
Yeah,
everything.
Do you think if you were raised in like a Mariah setting, like family cohesiveness and like trust, that you would have bipolar or ADHD?
I don't think it'd be possible because I think I got it from my mom.
Hereditary, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I just
we're going to go into that later.
Okay.
Do you remember? Probably not, but maybe. Do you remember like a first time that you had like a bipolar episode where you can really look back and be like, okay, that was like the first time when
I went to that hospital for those bad kids.
The insane kids.
yeah, because like I remember I used to drive by it all the time when I would go. Let me get to it. I used to drive by this apartment complex. All the time, and I think about it all the time when I drive by it to my old apartment with Mariah back in Wawa. But I was 7. I mean, I had been young, dude. Like, I mean, I could have been 5. I don't even think I was in school because I can't remember school at that time. But I remember my brother, my mom, and my stepdad carrying me down the second floor stairs, like escorting me, like like fucking grappling me, carrying me down the stairs, and then getting masked. And I was out of control, dude. I can. It's almost like I can see myself out of body.
Yeah.
I could feel how out of control I was, and then I was getting gassed. And then I woke up in the white room, and then I remember being a kid and being like, "Man, I'm out of control." Like, what did I do? What did I do to get here? Yeah. So I mean, that was young. Yeah.
So you do remember like when it was like that was it. Okay.
Yeah. And I can feel, dude, that feeling. One of the things I can remember through all of them is the feeling in my chest, which is inexplainable. And I still feel it to this day. It's a signal to me. It tells me to go out.
Is it a heartbeat thing, or is it just like
it's like a fire. It's I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So it's warm. It's warm, but not in a warm as in like it's cozy and protective, but like chaotic and painful.
And sharp and like very lawyery, very like objective and aggressive.
Have you ever looked that up?
What?
Like that feeling before like you have an episode of some kind?
I don't know. I think I just kind of acted it or like put a name to it.
You should.
And,
I bet there's a lot of people who, because I joined a couple of communities and I was like, man, I was surprised. I was also annoyed because I was like very poster board. It was very poster board me. Like I was very typical in that sense. But I was like, that's. Okay.
I have a hard time relating to people who have bipolar disorder. No offense to anybody who has bipolar disorder.
It's probably part of the bipolar disorder.
Yeah, but like I have a hard time relating to it because I just feel like it's such a crutch, and a lot of times that community can justify their weakness
Yeah,
And I'm not saying weakness, but it is our weakness. It is my weakness. It is something. It's something you've helped me actually realize. It's like it is. It's like my weakness. It's also my superpower, but it's also something I had to like think about all the time and hold.
Yeah, it's your fault. So you deal with it.
That's my thing. My thing. Yeah.
What about ADHD? I would say ADHD is definitely not as serious. I mean, but it still has a lot of like weight to it. Especially when you mix in personality disorders,
it's pretty mitigated by the medicine, but without the medication, I went a lot of my 20s without it. And I had a partner who said that they thought it ruled my life on a day-to-day way more than my bipolar disorder. And I think that has truth to it, but I have 12-hour medication, so I can really like plot around that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's pretty good. But when I don't have it, it's awful.
What do you do when you're not on medication for ADHD? Like, how does your brain interact with stimuli and no stimuli?
I think I just interact with other stimuli less good, and I interact with the things I like better.
Oh, okay.
Or the same. So like I wouldn't be able to be stimulated by like just sitting on the couch and hanging out with Mariah, or like little things like that. I'd have to be like sucking Marvel Rivals wiener, you know, for 12 hours. And I wouldn't be able to
getting wins and getting wins. Yeah.
Just dopamine. Just yeah.
And, okay, well, if the world were to run out of medication for ADHD or bipolar, which one would you choose to go away?
The bipolar.
The bipolar go away and then stay in
yeah, because I don't take my bipolar medication every day.
Yeah, but it's very like, but it's like it's the bridge between you and a reality that isn't destroyed.
Yeah. I think maybe not. Like, do I have the ones that exist? Because I have
you're done.
Maybe I would choose bipolar. I think the first couple of weeks of the ADHD would be rough, and I think I do benefit a lot professionally and just like active, like anything that doesn't relate to things that I directly like. It benefits my driving.
Yeah,
it helps me drive immensely, and I drive 2 hours a day. 2.5, 3.
I drive 30 minutes and I'm dozing off like at the 27 minute mark.
Yeah, so I maybe I would choose bipolar disorder because I use it as like a safety net now. When I feel that feeling in my chest,
it's like you're about to turn into the Hulk and you fucking inject yourself.
Yep. And dude, and it's hard too because I don't want to, but it is really cool that feeling is objective and I can't trick myself into thinking it's a good thing.
Dude, if I can medicate to avoid a psychosis episode, I would. But I definitely, because by the time I realize I'm in it, it's already been 2 weeks that I've been in it. I've already been detached that long.
And I'll be like crazy, and I'll be like knowing I'm crazy and like telling everyone to like evacuate. I'm crazy, and like I'm taking this. You know?
Yeah. Well. Who, if anyone in your family, shares any of the diagnosis that you have?
My mom is undiagnosed. I think she has it. My brother, I think he probably has some kind of diagnosis. I don't want to say for sure. He struggled a lot emotionally, and he still struggles a lot. He does not have a lot of coping skills. My brother's a very sad man.
And
I'm not saying sad like I judge him, but like he feels like he wears sadness a lot,
like broken heart. Yeah.
Dude, if you gave him a couple shots of Jack Daniels, he would cry every time. He will cry every time. And my grandma has raging bipolar disorder.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have it, then the odds of your siblings having it is pretty high.
Yeah.
So your mom was undiagnosed, and she obviously wasn't medicated.
Sorry, my cat's fucking. You see me shake?
Yeah. And your what interactions did you have with your grandma?
She's cool. My grandparents are kind of like they're cool. They're really nice people, but they're scum of the earth. They're leeches.
Can you give me an example?
They're financial leeches. They're the type of people who come over to Thanksgiving and take all the leftovers. You know what I mean? And they're weed fiends for a long time. My grandpa's dead, R.I.P. But he
died. He was the one that died like within the last 2 years, right?
Yeah. But I remember, dude, like I remember one time I walked into their house and they were looking in my pockets to see if I had weed. And I've always been kind of the weed guy. Like I've toned that down a lot in the last probably 6 years. But it used to be like who I was. People
Yeah.
knew me by that, and it was illegal at that time too for a lot of it. So like that's who I was. But they were scoping my pockets. My grandma was asking me about it, and then my grandpa was like, "I will give you this plate of food." And he just cooked fried chicken. Like he made a dinner. He said, "I'll give you this plate of food for a joint, a bowl, something." He said it just like that. He's like something.
Yeah.
And like that's just like who they are, dude.
Yeah, and meanwhile, they're your grandparents. They should just cook for you anyways.
It's just chill, dude. Just chill out.
Yeah.
And they're just
like they're fiending, dude. They're fiending.
They're takers.
Yeah.
They're takers, big time. And they're kind of just not self-aware. They don't have a lot of coping skills. They my grandma, again, raging bipolar. My grandpa wouldn't know how to handle it. Would leave the house for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? His RV.
That's a big, like, I've had a very diverse group of friends, you know, Asian, Black, Mexican, white, and it's always the white people who are super addicted to everything, who alcohol, weed abuse, like, or, you know, and I see abandonment.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, it just came in my head. You said drug abuse. The one time I was living in my grandma's, I was living in actually their RV outside because I can't remember why I had a falling out. Maybe I had a falling out with one of my parents. I was living with them, or falling out at a place I was renting, so I was living with them, and I was growing marijuana in their basement. I was like, I think I was 19 or 20.
You're in it.
I was growing.
You're in it,
dude. I was in it, man. I was in it for a long time. But I was growing a bunch of plants down there, and my grandma has always had shady friends, and she's dabbled in meth and speed, and she's had her fair share of drug abuse. But I remember these neighbors had a daughter who was really into meth, like really, really into meth, and she started coming around a little bit, and I was like, oh no. And then my grandma comes up to me, and she's like, hey, this is who so and so, and already
trying to like introduce you, like
yeah, but she's like, yeah, I showed her what you had going on downstairs, and I was like. And so I literally chopped everything up and moved out. Moved out same day, dude. Got all my stuff out of there.
100% gonna get robbed. 100%.
Yeah. Or something bad was gonna. There was no good that was coming.
Yeah.
But, I got the fuck out of there.
And because I had two really close friends, and they were also white, and their parents were like, they're very similar to the way your parents and their structure was, but the only difference is their parents went to jail and like left their kid with the grandma, and it was like this whole abandonment issue thing.
Yeah.
But I see it all. I've seen it a lot in very, very similar situations
with white people.
With white people, yeah.
It's weird. But I think it's also a product of the boomer generation too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the boomer generation doesn't know how to cope. And if you do know how to cope, that's great. But like, most of them don't.
Dude, it's very hard to find somebody within a parameter of that generation that isn't just completely fucking brainwashed. And
yeah, Mariah's parents are actually pretty cool. That's one thing I actually really appreciate about Mariah's parents is they don't seem brainwashed. They seem like real people who have thoughts.
Economic differences, right? Eventually, you kind of like breach that.
I don't think so though. I've met brainwashed rich people. No. I think there's all.
I mean, within that generation. Because I've only interacted with people who are, you know, middle class or poor, so I don't know anything about that the higher. But
maybe you might be onto something. Maybe it's more common. I don't know. But they're very tapped in, dude, and they have genuine. They're real people. They're real people.
Yeah. Or they had more they were able to adapt and change. You know, a lot of people don't. They just like, oh, this is how it used to be, and I don't like it now, so fuck off.
And that's why I don't have a lot of sympathy for the bipolar community. I did adapt, I did change, and like my life's still not perfect.
Yeah,
but like
that's how I feel too. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. Yeah, you have to make a willing, active change if you want anything, and it's constant because so is your diagnosis.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your parents. All right, where's your dad?
So good. I don't know.
You don't know.
I had dude, his name's listed so many places. I looked into it right before I moved to Wawa. I think I was still working at Oddfellows at the time. And I looked him up and he had a place down the road. But I never went and knocked, and like he has so many addresses and so many names, and I wasn't even 100% sure it was him.
Yeah.
So but I don't know. I don't know.
Would you look for him? Would you try anytime? I think you should.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have any. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't think I have like any thing I'm seeking from it. Yeah. So I feel indifferent about it. I almost did it.
Good.
What? No, I just almost did it. Yeah.
Just like the movies where people are like, oh, I gotta find my dad and see what he's like. And okay.
Dude, I was in 5th grade making jokes about my dad being a hobo, and he was a hobo. You know what I mean? Like I had a long time to cope with all of that. Yeah. So I don't feel any need to feel that. But if I found out he was around or someone messaged me and was like, hey, he lives here, I'd probably go. Go. Yeah.
Well, do you know of anything that you would ask him, like just right off the bat? Like they don't have to be super deep or anything, but do you have
honestly, actually already I probably wouldn't go.
Just already change your fucking
mind. Because he's he had sex with my mom when she was 17.
Yeah.
Or 16 or it was 16. And he was 30 something. And I don't know if I want to know what that guy's like now. I don't know if I want to.
Everybody can change, right?
Yeah, they can. And I'm not saying they can't, but it's just
I get it. Yeah.
And and the reason he's not even in my life is because I told him to stop being the scum of the earth. I remember it clear as day, dude. I remember exactly. It was outside of Toys R Us.
So hold on, time out.
Go ahead.
I don't know why I was under the impression that you just never knew your dad.
No, I met him. We had a weekend relationship, every other weekend relationship for several years.
Until what age?
And 11.
Okay.
Yeah, and and he had a very I'm going to give you the world mentality, but he was also never had a stability.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'd end up pawning my systems, or that he'd buy me, right? Or all these, it was like empty promises. He was that dad, right? And he was always living in a different spot. He was always living with someone else. He never had his own spot.
Yeah.
But I was 11 when I can't believe you don't know this. This is a good part of the QnA. But I was 11. It was outside of Toys R Us, and I feel like I've talked about this before, so I'm just surprised you haven't heard this.
Mm-mm.
But he had told me that he had slept outside so that he could have a hotel. We were staying at a hotel, and he told me that he slept outside so he could have us over there for the weekend. And I remember stopping and being like, Dad, you need to get your life together. I was like, you can't do this forever. Like, you can't. I was like, I don't like this. This isn't what I want to do. I want you sleeping outside. So that I could come over. I remember so clear, and I was 11.
Yeah.
And I actually never saw him again after that.
That's weird.
Never again. He contacted me several times. Like, he sent me letters, and he would call at first. I don't know why I'm getting goosebumps.
Just keep going, buddy.
Isn't that weird? It's always good things, but it's weird that I'm getting him. I don't feel bad, I guess, but
it is good.
Yeah. I get letters, and he would call, and then I get letters. And the last time I heard about him, he was in some kind of desert, Idaho or Arizona desert or somewhere, panhandling for gold. He had a new wife and a pet coyote. There was a whole picture thing. I remember the letter. I also think that there's a good chance that my mom withheld letters.
Yeah,
classic. I think there's a very good chance.
I hate that, dude. When I see that in movies and shit, I'm like, oh, that mom pisses me the fuck off, man.
I feel like there's a good chance. I'm not sure. So I won't blame.
Yeah, but if your intuition is saying so, I'm sure there probably was a moment.
Yeah, because he was very invested in us for a long time. Very invested in us.
Yeah, and it's likely that the amount of times that he tried and he got nothing, he was like, well, I'll just wait for them to come to me, right?
And my mom's a bitch, dude.
Mom's a bitch.
Dude, I can't imagine trying to co-parent or do anything like that. I'm not saying my dad was a great guy. I don't remember the qualities about him. He was really good to me. Other than the stuff he had to do to survive, like pawning the things he bought me. But I can't imagine trying to work it out with my mom like that. No way.
Well, I mean, that dude, I think you should, man. That'd be cool.
Cool to seek him out. I tried seeking him out. I don't think there's any more information that I could gather.
Dude,
maybe if I paid for a service or something, but
I've done
digging,
and
I've done digging.
Yeah, dude,
I did things everywhere, dude. I remember one time I looked up, I paid for a service, and he was registered in 3 states.
I bet you could get a PI like under $100 and have him found and ready to go.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that
because they already have all these subscriptions and stuff. Like whenever I was working at the that place I was working at, I could look up someone's name and like a general location, and it would give me, it would list everything: their socials, their addresses, their previous addresses, the last time they went shopping, under what card, under what energy company they're in, and just connect the dots. Found.
Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah,
it'd be cool. It'd be amazing.
We'll see. It would be interesting for sure.
Yeah, because
we'll see what
when you talk about your dad, you definitely don't have that like negative animosity as you do towards your mom. But that's also because your mom was longer in your life to make a lot of mistakes.
And she actively sucks and avoids not sucking. And I have there's other than him leaving, which I don't even understand the context of that because I was so little. For a while I blamed myself for having that conversation with him, but like,
yeah, you're a child.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just there wasn't the buildup. There wasn't the commitment to being.
Okay, right. So even now, you wouldn't. There's nothing that you can think that you would ask him. It doesn't have to be about you.
I think I'd be like, why wouldn't you reach out, post anything?
Right. And then if he did say, I wrote you, 1,000 letters. Did you never get them? And then you could click in your head like, oh yeah, mom was a bitch and she was, sabotaging things. Or
I don't think there's any way that I would meet him that I wouldn't forgive him. I don't think there'd be an ongoing relation. I can't imagine myself having an ongoing relationship with him, but I would definitely probably find the peace needed for the situation. I can't imagine me being like, oh yeah, fuck you, dude. Like, how dare you leave me? Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I can't see it happening.
Gotcha. Well, I
think I'd get more fluttery than I'm saying right now.
Yeah,
I think it would definitely be.
What is his name?
Intense. Robert Eugene's son is same name as my brother.
Robert.
Yeah.
Do you
and
know
so like one of the things what's so crazy is my stepdad told me this out of spite because he was mad at me and like hateful. You say all sorts of rotten shit, but he told me I was a product of rape.
Yeah.
And I think that my brother's name being my dad's name affirms that a little bit. Where it's like they weren't supposed to be together, and by the time my brother was born, it was okay, and that's why he's got my dad's name.
Right. Like
I think
like he could wear it now, wear it without worrying. Yeah.
Yeah. I have my mom's last name. My brother has my dad's last name.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yep. And so like, yeah, that's he's the second.
Yeah. Not to justify anything, but this was also way back when when things
in the 90s,
things were that was almost normal, now people are way more acknowledging and
well, I still think it was double her age, so I don't know if people like he wasn't like a 20-year-old, you know what I mean? He was
it's more common than you think.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know. I was one or not born yet.
My family's predominantly Mexican, and that happened a lot.
Yeah,
where
I think there's cultural stuff involved too, and I don't know. You're probably right.
And that doesn't make it right, but it's just it's kind of like just like how the N word or the FAG word. I love spelling it all the way out. I don't know why, but how it's more this is funny, okay? How it's just like, it's much more common, and then as we progress it's like dwindling even more and more and more.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I already did all this. So no questions, right, for your dad? Just other than why didn't you try to reach out?
I don't think I have a burning like anything burnt. What have you been up to?
Yeah. And he has more kids now, right?
I don't know about post me, but he had the half sister.
You might have some more siblings out there.
Yeah. I've talked to my half sister about it. That's one of the reasons we've contacted.
Dude, one of them probably plays Marvel Rivals.
Not better than me.
All right. So let's talk about your girlfriend. Is that okay? And then if there's things you need to skip, then go ahead. But
no, go for it.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Wow. What's her name?
What do you mean? Wow.
Wow.
Mariah.
Mariah. And how did you meet?
On Bumble.
Bumble. Okay. And Bumble is one of those where the girl has to message you first, right?
Yes.
Right. And do you remember like what was her Riz line?
I can't remember if it was the first thing. I think it was the first thing. No, I can't remember. Dude, we originally matched.
I know the story. But
we originally matched, and then we stopped talking for like a couple weeks, and then I'm pretty sure this is accurate. we stopped talking for a couple weeks, and then she messaged me again saying, "Help me with my stream, please." And that was like very like that. Then we started talking all the time.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah.
So did you go over there and actually help her with her stream?
Yeah. She was a streamer for a while. She used to, Kill Tony. She used to stream like a viewing party for that, and she would have like 10 viewers in there sometimes, 7, 6, yeah. And so I did help her, and like she streamed Monday nights were her stream night when we first like got together.
Yeah. And do you think that was like kind of like the instant bonding thing that you had whenever you did meet?
I think it was the best way because it had fizzled, like the conversation had fizzled a little bit as it naturally does. I don't even think it's just chemistry. It's just like the nuance of talking online. You know what I mean? And like what you got going on in your life. But like it was the perfect hook.
Yeah.
Where I was like, dang, dude, you stream? Like, whoa.
So was that what drew you in initially? Was the stream thing?
No. We had talked. I didn't talked before that, and she's beautiful, and like she had great pics, and like we had good conversations. She seemed very light.
Where the fuck are your goosebumps?
Literally.
Okay, I'm making sure.
Right there.
I'm making sure.
Yeah, literally.
Nasty dad doesn't get them.
No. What was I saying?
Just how her pictures were great, and
she was really light. She was really light, really bubbly, like easy to talk to. So she's fun, and she was into comedy.
The best.
Yeah, and she's into comedy, and that's still my favorite thing about her. Is like we can talk shit. I can say the most, as long as there's a little bit punch pulled. I can say the most ruthless things, and it's all in the context of funny. It's not in seriousness at all.
Yeah,
yeah.
That is good. Playful relationships are definitely the way.
Yep.
Did she like going into the relationship? Did she know about your ADHD or bipolar?
I don't know. I can ask her. You want me to ask her?
No, because if she didn't know, then you would know, right?
I just don't know. I don't know.
I mean, was it in your dating profile?
I bet you she knew about that before she knew about my probation. I think so. I think she knew.
Do you know when the first moment that she experienced either or mostly your bipolar, because I don't give a shit about your ADHD.
Our second year, I think, was really rough for my bipolar disorder, and it was probably somewhere in there.
Right.
Yeah. I was just feeling flighty, and I think commitment has been hard for me for a while, and I think I've gotten over that with her. And like I was committed to her the day I met her. The first I don't sleep with anybody. It's like I'm known to not sleep with anybody. Like I don't want to do that. I avoid it. I say no. But like I was ready the second I met her.
Yeah.
And it's because I knew I was into her. I was way into her than she was into me initially. And she was always a step behind, but I was definitely like, wow.
Yeah, you were. It sounds like you were good at pursuing her.
Yeah, dude. I drove an hour and a half every weekend, stay there that weekend, and then drive back Monday morning, and go to work. Fucking 8 a.m.
Lover boy.
Yeah, dude.
Well, how did she?
I love her.
How does she feel about your ADHD bipolar? Has she mentioned any? Oh, wait, hold on. Finish answering that, and then I'll go into the next part.
I feel like she's actually done a better job than any partner I've ever had. Sorry, Kat. I'm trying to understand my bipolar. She has ADHD too. She takes the same meds I do, so that part she gets. But I feel like she's done a really, really good job at trying to understand that, and it's something that no one will ever understand unless you have it. But she does a really intentional job at trying to understand.
Yeah,
and
that's important.
And not taking me seriously when and you can't always, and they're not taking me seriously when I'm like that, and I'm not like that often. And that's what makes it hard to like understand how to deal with when you're living with me.
Don't practice.
Is that yeah, dude? It's like once every 6 months, I might just like fucking explode, and like you're like, whoa, this guy's moving 1,000,000 miles per hour, and he could get mad any second.
Yeah.
And just walk out of here and quit his job and life and fucking everything else.
Does she want to get married or like have kids or anything like that?
Yeah.
Do you know how many kids she wants?
I think 2. I think we talked about before. We definitely want kids, and I don't think we want a huge lot or anything.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the same page there. I think 2. She might be into 3 too, but I
Does she know that bipolar and ADHD is also hereditary, isn't it?
Yeah, I bet. I think there's a hereditary factor. Yeah, we talked about that too.
What is
That's
she
the big
saying?
reason I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
Most of my life, I didn't want kids until I met Mariah.
Oh, it's not too bad. I mean, but two of my kids have a very rare mutation in their adrenal glands, and it's literally deadly if they're not on medication. So it's like
the thing is, I just seen so many people not cope with it in my own life and around me, and stories and Reddits and
groups. You're the sensei now. Like you can help your children if they do have that.
Yeah, that's the only reason I've convinced myself too. Yeah, it was like I can teach those skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is still a burden. But it's also like
but dude,
it's something I've tackled. I've come to a conclusion about it.
It's way worth it. It's way worth it. Than not to do it.
I totally agree.
Nice. I wonder if bipolar cum is different than normal.
Google it.
No, dude, I don't want to see any nasty dicks.
Ew, dude. I don't think you would.
Dude,
it's going to show you a bipolar penis next to a regular penis.
It might. Hold on. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, boys, girls. You don't care.
What?
Boys, girls. Like, do you want a boy? Do you want a girl? Or you don't care?
Oh, I thought you were asking me about gay or bi.
I already know you're gay, dude. I don't need to ask that one.
What? Yeah, I think I'd rather have girls.
You'd rather have girls?
I think so. I think having a boy would be cool. I wouldn't be reluctant to that, but I think
why?
I think a lot of the challenges I faced also manifested harder because I was a boy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. You're not as like you're not taken easy, or you're not, you're a guy, you'll get over it type thing.
And like social standards back then, especially when I was a kid, it might be different now, but like I was just like the class clown. There's just a lot of social nuance to that too, where I feel like the things that I went through.
Yeah, but you also could have been a giant slut, and people could have taken advantage of you, and there's also that end of the thing.
Yeah, it's all a mess, and they all need to be protected. But I feel like a girl would be cool.
Okay, it would be even cooler, one boy, one girl. I do recommend having them like within a year apart or less. The least amount of distance, the better. That way they can play, they can take care of each other, they can be there for each other. Because my two sons, my youngest ones, 3 and 5, they play all the time together, and they also beat the fuck out of each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest, he can usually facilitate, like fun time and stuff, but they're always going against him. Like, even if I have Avum and I like pop in the forehead on accident a little bit too hard, I'd be like, "Oh, Avum, what happened? Eon hit me," even though it's clearly me. It doesn't matter. They just always blame it on him, and that's because Eon, he gets a little evil sometimes, and he like makes him cry, and So having them close is good, man. It's really, and then they're both done at the same time. They're both old at the same time. Diapers is done at the same time. Bottles.
I just don't. I in my head, I would want them like 3 years apart.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude.
I believe you. I believe you. But I've also seen a lot of dynamics. I've seen hundreds of household dynamics, and just from my job, and like the kids that are close do connect more, but it's just also always the biggest issues.
Yeah, dude, but imagine both the biggest issues being old already at the same time instead of having.
That's true, but 3 years isn't bad.
3 years sucks.
All right, dude. Next question.
All right, it's perfect, dude. I'm a master at fucking crafting this because we're talking about your dumb work. Okay, so a lot of people don't know, but
that's it about Mariah.
You're what?
That's it about Mariah.
Yeah, who gives a shit, dude? She might not even be forever. You might break up with her tomorrow.
Whatever, dude. Get out of here. Zero chance.
Okay, well,
Zero chance.
What question did you want me? What question did you want me to ask about Mariah?
I thought there was gonna be more.
No, well, actually there was. Does she watch the podcast? Probably not.
No, but I told her she should watch this one.
Oh, that's why you wanted. Okay.
No, but she did deserve more time.
She what?
There were 2 questions. I said she deserved more time. There's only 2 questions.
What do I ask about her?
I don't know.
I already know everything. I don't give a shit about the audience like you.
Go ahead.
All right.
Next question. My work.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know you're college educated.
I am.
It's weird.
Yeah, and
right?
honestly, dude, I would consider myself having the knowledge of a master's degree, just not taking the last class.
No,
Like I
that's
didn't
your
take the
fault.
test.
Fucking lazy.
Yeah, it is my fault. But yeah, I'm college educated. Took lots of classes.
Okay. What is your degree?
Bachelor's in science.
And what is your
BA in science?
Okay.
Or not psychology, excuse me.
There you go. And
BA
why
in
did
psychology.
why did you choose that path? Like,
I was originally a nutrition major. I think it was athletic training technically at the college.
You and that one streamer have a lot in common.
Which one streamer?
The other one who also has a college education in nutrition. He's a drink. His name is based off a drink.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I did that for a while. I liked the classes; it was cool. But I was really, really into fitness and bodybuilding and all that. I developed eating disorders. I was under 10% body fat and thinking I was fat. Made myself fucking throw up and just all sorts of crazy stuff. I did steroids once.
Yeah.
Did a cycle of steroids. So like just
yeah,
in every way, not good for me.
You're filled with mental ailments. You're filled with them.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You collect them.
I do. Like a badge, dude. It's like under my trench coat.
And you're butt naked underneath that too.
Yeah.
With your bipolar wiener. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. But it was just not good for me. And as I was realizing it was not good for me is when I kind of transitioned away from it.
Yeah.
And psychology was the only other thing that interested me. I took psychology classes in community college, and I mean it relates to my brain, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you could butterfly effect yourself back in time, would you do anything else different in college instead of psychology or nutrition?
I wouldn't take my master's program online. That's what I would change. Is I like I said, I did a year and a half of a master's program. The last quarter I had the real like mental breakdown. That if you ever ask me like what's the mental breakdown you think of when you're bipolar, it's that one. Like I had to go to a hotel. I had to like leave.
Yeah.
But so I quit doing that, and I think one of the reasons I quit was because there was just not much I was getting out of it. Like I was just literally just paying for accreditation. All of it was, I mean, like
that's how a lot of school is, right?
Yeah, but like in person, you actually get things from it.
Would you consider go back like lessons. For your master's?
Maybe eventually. I have enough student debt to want to worry about getting money another way before doing more school. But yeah, I wouldn't do it I would do it in person. I bet you I'd have my master's right now.
You would, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I have no regret doing that too because I fucking hate I can't imagine anyone from my work's watching this, but I hate ABA. I love everything that it does. I like the people that work there.
It doesn't matter, dude. If you hate it, you're still doing it and you're doing it proficiently. Like, you can hate it.
Yeah, I like doing the therapy. Like I like doing what I'm doing now, but I would hate to be.
Okay, so tell them what
the next level.
What is it that you're doing? What are you doing?
I do behavior therapy with kids with autism. So technically, I'm there's 3 levels. I'm mid-level. I'm doing lower level. I'm doing the therapy, but a lot of my work has been doing supervising and creating plans to help these kids with their challenged behaviors.
And what was
funded through insurance? What
was the trajectory that got you there? Because that's when I think about your life and the things that we've talked about, I don't see why you would have any interest in that other than the children aspect, like getting a fair chance that you didn't have.
It's in the realm of psychology. I mean, like behavior is very opposite of psychology in a lot of ways because it doesn't really account for like emotions. But it is under the umbrella of psychology. And I was when I had transitioned, I used it as a step. It was a good paying job. This job always will pay good.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it was good paying and it looked good on a resume. And I was trying to build a case, like a resume in psychology.
So that was it.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago. Yeah. 2016, 2015, something like that. I have to look at my resume.
So that was it.
Yeah.
There was
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was good at it. I got promoted, and then it's a field that's like expanded, and it's just kind of always led me to the next job.
All right. I thought there'd be more to that, but money is very motivating.
I think there's things that keep me in it. There's nothing much that led me to it.
Yeah, I'm saying the initial getting there is
nope.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Do you remember how we met?
Yeah, Facebook. Like me reaching out to you.
Okay, can you tell that story?
Yeah, so I was a streamer on Facebook. Julian was a streamer on Facebook. I'd seen Julian's streams before, and I was subscribed actually. But I'd watch and like I can't remember. I think you were playing Apex at the time. No, when I was watching you and subscribed.
I was playing Overwatch
You were playing,
for sure.
No, but you played Apex with your ex-wife, and you were on Facebook.
Maybe I did play it a couple of times, but okay, go ahead.
That's when I subscribed, and
so you
that's
subscribed when I was playing Apex.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, dude.
Ew.
Yeah, and then I reached out to you because I wanted to play with you. Right?
Yeah.
Is that like I was like I would love to play, and I did that in chat, and you were like, "Sorry, dude, I only play with subs because you're a rich boy Facebook streamer at that time," and I was like, "I am a sub," and you're like, "What?" And then we played over. I don't remember what we played first.
We never played together. I don't remember ever playing with you on stream because then
No, we didn't play on stream. No, but when I reached out to you, that's why I reached out to you, and that's why you were like, "I only play with subs," and I was like, "I am a sub."
I don't remember ever playing.
You remember
with you.
that?
I remember in the message, and because you DM'd me. It was
it might have been DM.
Yeah, like you said, like, "Hey man," I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Then you're like, "Hey, we should play some games sometime," and then that's when I was like, "Yeah, I'm down, but I only play with subs." And that's because, guys, so on Facebook Gaming, you can't give subs. There's no gifting. You have to individually sub. I had 210 subs.
I forgot that. Yeah.
I had 210. That means there's 210 individual people sub to me. So there's a lot of people who wanted to play, and there was no 50%. It was all $5.99 all to the streamer.
So cool. Rich.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, I only play with subs, and that was because I couldn't just give my time away for free anymore, right?
Yeah,
my time is worth something. And then I talked to Kevin, and he was like, "Oh, I stream too." I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I didn't even know this guy existed. I didn't know he watched me. I didn't know because he never talked in chat. He only talked in chat after we had this initiation in the DMs. That's how I remember it.
I'm a big lurker, especially before I started streaming. I would never type. I would just be in there. I just watch. Yeah, I didn't want to interact. Didn't want to meet people. I just wanted to learn something about the game or laugh.
Yeah. And do you remember what enticed you to DM me? Because if you hadn't DM'd me, I would have never known that you existed at all, ever, nothing. Ew, dude, you look like
I don't remember the exact moment. I don't remember the exact reason. I think I liked your streams. I think that was part of it. I think part of it probably was too that I was a streamer.
Yeah.
I bet you anything I didn't have. I had an old streaming partner on Facebook. His name's Bradley. Shout out to his name's Iggy. Or at least in the stream when he was streaming and stuff. But he was like my right hand man for a little bit, and like him and I started Facebook streaming together. Like when I started, he had just started, and we met each other through Facebook. And so I'm imagining too that like him stopping streaming probably led me to look out to other people.
Yeah,
that's the only other reason why I could think of why I would be like looking out to like talk to people. But yeah, I like the stream. I'd watched it many times. I also like the games you played. I remember that too.
Yeah. There it is.
I think you were candid too. Candid. I remember candid conversations about mental health and like being very and not in a good way, not in the way that people like.
Yeah.
Like, in the way I see it,
Yeah. I did do that a lot. We talked about.
Yeah.
I didn't say. What is that term people say for suicide? Unalive themselves.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate when people talk like that.
It's just all TikTok, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
It is. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. For the kids part, like having kids, do you have any names that you ever imagined, or even Mariah?
Mariah and I like the name Stella.
Stella?
Yeah.
Stella?
Yeah.
Y'all should get a dog.
And then we talked about another one. I can't remember.
That's cool. Just telling you. I don't know. It reminds me of like Cruella DeVille, like she needs to be in the 101 Dalmatian movie or something.
Yeah, it has a little bit of elegance to it too. I believe that names kind of fill your role too. I'm not saying like if you're named this that you're gonna be this, but I think
it's like written in the stars. Your name a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, so it's almost we're December 22nd, 2024. Do you have any like plans? And you're not much of a planner, other than maybe like a few important things, but like within the next 6 months. What
I feel like I've been planning a lot. I feel right now is the time for planning in my life, and I've been planning a lot more. But yeah, I want to get out of this place.
So in 6 months,
lovely.
In 6 months,
yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to be engaged to Mariah in the next 6 months. I would like to be streaming again in the next 6 months. And I would like to be. I'm going to talk to Mariah's mom about being an APS investigator. I think I'd be really good at that.
APS investigator. What does that stand for?
Adult Protective Services. So it's kind of like CPS, but for adults.
I think you would get more. Yeah, I think you would get more stimulation for that.
Yeah, dude. I miss like violence. Not me doing the violence, but like the tension and like the. It's pretty cushy right now for me.
The energy around it.
Yeah.
Since your bipolar has been a big part of your life, what do you think you've learned the most about yourself from your bipolar disorder?
The most impactful for me?
Yeah, for you. I don't give a shit about anybody else.
It took me a long time to learn that no matter how, like, I can feel as good as I want. It's not other people's job to feel as good as me.
Yeah.
or to respond to my goodness the way I want them to.
Yeah.
And that's hard, dude. When I'm manic or hypomanic and I'm feeling great and I could conquer the world, like, and people don't like, I used to get so irritated when people don't mesh with that. And like, but now I realize it's like not their job to mesh with that, and they can't.
Yeah,
they can't touch it.
For example, for those of you who may not understand, or maybe you do, and I'm not saying anything, but
go ahead.
It's like, well, when my dog died, it only took me 3 days to get over it. So, I mean, why are you taking 3 years?
Exactly.
It's expecting other people to behave the way you do, and you guys clearly aren't the same person or the same mental anything, and Go ahead. No, it's just it's really hard to see people as the individuals that they are, and not just assume that,
Well, and it's like, I think it comes from also a root understanding that they'll just never understand how I feel, and like a lot of that's just wanting people to understand. And like when I showed you, I think I showed you the song. I'll have to show you the song. But when I was like manic, there's dude, I'm talking like pacing holes in the carpet, the hotel carpet floor. I think one of the only reasons I didn't do the unaliving because I was at that point, dude. Later,
the what?
Like the unaliving.
The only reason why I didn't kill myself.
Yep.
Okay.
And I was to that point was actually because of this one song by Joe Budden. And it was just listen. You
I've heard it.
Whatever music is for this.
I know
music's for this. But listen. It was the fact that that dude has chronic bipolar disorder, and like he's had everything in his life, and will continue to ruin it. And like and I remember in that moment being like, oh, he understands. And like realizing that he understood and that it was that powerful made me realize how much no one else understood, and like that was okay that no one else understood, and no one ever would. Like, unless they have bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think it comes from that root understanding. But yeah, they can't feel as good as me. I can't make them. I can't want them to.
The last question is what is the one driving force that makes you like keep going?
Just like my ability to impact and not just the potential that I could have with that, but like the things that I've done now, how they've impacted people, that really motivates me. That motivates me to stream. That motivates me to just like do big things. Like, it doesn't even, streaming is just an avenue, or podcasting is just an avenue to do big things. But like it motivates me to do big things.
So just the ability to change something in somebody else's life.
Yeah, dude. Anything. Anything. It could be small, could be big.
All right. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Unless is there anything else that you want anybody to know?
Oh, that was really long, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm just kidding. How long was that?
An hour and 9 minutes.
I was locked in, dude. I was that was probably the most dialed in I've ever been on a podcast. Ever. Any podcast, not even ours.
I mean,
I was very receptive. I was just like, I was ready to answer. I like put my guard down. I was ready to be whatever, just ready to answer. It was cool. And good job. You did great. There's good questions. There's a couple things in there I hadn't thought about in a while. 3 out of 10.
All right, I just want to upload it then.
No, it was.
I'm just kidding.
An honest rating? Wait, honest rating, and I'll give you an honest rating.
I don't care.
Was mine 3 out of 10?
Yeah, it was really bad. I hated it.
Yeah, this one was 2. All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Great podcast.